Welcome back, everybody. Christmas Eve Spectacular rolls on this Wednesday morning. Speaking of spectacular, we've had a chance to get know our next guest here over the last couple years, and we got to marvel pretty much every Monday. We did our best of the weekend. Our next guest was on it, considering he was throwing for about a mile's worth of yards, and now there's a definite chance that professional football is in his near future. I hate to say now, former Minnesota State University Moorhead quarterback Jack Strand joins us here to discuss 2025 and what 2026 may hold. It's great to see you, bud. First off, congrats on an amazing career. I kind of hate saying former. Has it set in yet that the Dragon days are done?
Oh, well, I appreciate all that, first of all. And yeah, it's taking a little while for it to set in. Now kind of a little over a month out from the end of the season. It's started to set in a little bit more, but yeah, hearing former Dragon definitely sounds a little weird. It's going to take some getting used to.
All right, we can rail on this now. How in the world did you guys get left out? You beat Mankato at their place and didn't make it. Can you rationalize that to us?
Yeah, I mean, after that game, we were hoping we were going to have a chance, and I mean, we did everything that we could, to get in, finish 8-3, same record as them, and I guess, with the whole computer index rankings, everything, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it was their strength of schedule. They beat a couple 9-win teams, and so they got in just based on that. Kind of is what it is. It took a little bit of air out of us. That Sunday night after we beat them, we were feeling pretty good for about 24 hours, and then that announcement came, which was a little bit disappointing. But I mean, still, can't take away from anything we did during the season. And that's a big win for our program, probably the biggest win that we've had, especially at least in my time here. Like looking at the Duluth and the Augustana wins we've had, but being able to beat, I think they were ranked number 14, at their place, and kind of, wasn't really close for much of the game. We kind of handed it to them, and it was a good one to end on, at least, I guess. Didn't get the playoff bid, but it was a good way to go out for us seniors.
So off of that, when you're leaving Blakesley Stadium, are you thinking we got one more, or did you think in the back of your mind, if that's the way to go out, that was a pretty good way to wrap it?
It was a little bit of both. Obviously we were hoping to get the chance to keep going in the playoffs, and I think we would have played well. In that region, our super region ended up being really good. Put Ferris State in the national championship, and they won it. But I think after the game, kind of the bus ride home, we were feeling either way. Like with the win, it was really special for us, and definitely made the bus ride back a lot more fun. Being able to celebrate that with everybody, and knowing that this might be the last time that we get to do this, and so kind of just taking it all in.
You just found out you finished 4th in the Harlan Hill, which goes to the top player in Division II. I got a feeling if you would have kept playing that you may have finished higher, but what does that mean to you that you were recognized as one of the top players in Division II football?
Yeah, that's a very cool honor to be able to get some national recognition. I think it's really important for our program too. Kind of the last couple years we've been getting more nationally recognized, beating these top 25 teams, getting a couple wins against them, and having a shot to get in the playoffs at the end of the year. And kind of just, getting our program's name out there is super important, and kind of just keep trying to elevate the level of the program, and, stuff like that, kind of gets my name out there, which is cool, but more importantly, gets recognition for our program, which is the most important thing.
Was there a time during the year, like either your name gets brought up or you're getting a phone call, like, this is a lot, this is surreal, this is happening? Did a moment like that happen either before the year, during the season?
I'm not really. I had kind of the NFL stuff all started happening kind of during the summer. Figured out that we are going to start having some scouts at our practices, and so had some talks with Coach Lockway, Coach Check, and the most important thing was just stay grounded and be where my feet are. Focus on this season, because nothing after that matters if don't play well this year. And that was the most important thing to me, is making sure that our team had a successful season, and wanted to finish in the best way possible. And so I tried to not pay too much attention to that. And I think throughout the season, we did a good job of just staying in the moment and, playing football for the Dragons.
I got to ask, though, did your buddies give you a hard time? Like, oh, the NFL's here for Jack. Did you hear that, I'm assuming, early on in the year?
Not too much. It wasn't really like that. It was, it was a little weird sometimes having to go over after practice and talk to those guys when they were there, but I never got too much of a hard time for it.
Just how was that for you? Like, man, this is all come and now I'm talking to scouts from the NFL. What was that like?
Yeah, I kind of just tried to treat it like any other conversation and not really look into it too much. And it kind of goes back to just focusing on being in the present. And my job at that time was to play quarterback for the Dragons and do it as in the best way that I possibly could. And so I try not to let that outside noise creep in too much. And yeah, I mean, looking at it, obviously talking to NFL guys, it's a big step and it's something that's really cool. Not a lot of people get to do, which is super cool for me, and I'm very blessed to have been able to do that and hopefully be able to keep doing it.
All right, you want
Yeah,
to you
back
want
then
to
was
sorry, bud. You want to win
uh,
games. How do you grade your 2025? You won a lot of games, but you didn't make the playoffs. So I guess I know is for you, you a competitor, quarterback. How do you grade 2025 for you personally?
yeah, I was kind of thinking about this a little bit too, just a little while ago, and I mean, obviously, every season, you want your ultimate goal is to be able to compete for a national championship, be in the playoffs, and so especially right after the season when we got that announcement, it kind of felt like season didn't end the way that we wanted it to, and obviously in a big
Yep.
picture view, it didn't end the way that we wanted it to, at the start of the season. But I think looking back on what we were able to do, getting 8 wins for the first time in a while, beat Bemidji for the first time in a while, beat Mankato for the first time in a really long time. Um, Being able to get the program to the spot it's at now, and that's something that my class, our senior class, has done for the last 3 4 years, and we've just kept kind of building on the previous year, elevating the level of the program, and looking back where we were at a couple years ago compared to where it is now, I think we've been able to do a good job of that, and I know the guys that we have that are here and the guys that are going to be coming in the future, they're gonna keep pushing that level,
So
keep
tell
making
me,
it.
tell me about that when you came in, knowing it had been maybe 5 wins, sometimes six, sometimes four. That now routinely you're winning six, you're winning seven, you won eight. That's the standard we want MSU Moorhead to be at.
Yeah, that's really cool, and especially because that's something that Coach Lockway talks about all the time, and why I keep saying it. Elevate the level of the program. Building on the people that came before us, and yeah, it's something that we do with our box talks every week. Like each senior gives a talk, and they put something in the box that all the seniors that have graduated, they've done a box talk, they've put some in that box, and so we know that we're at the point that we're at because the guys that came before us and the guys that come after us, they're gonna be there because of what we were able to do. And so it just, that level just keeps building throughout the years because of, the love and the care that people that come before, have for this place. And it just shows how special it is. Like, we saw so many alumni at our home games, the Minot game, we got all the guys from the last couple years down the end zone. We throw a touchdown to BP in overtime, and
Oh.
they're all kind of storming the field with us and celebrating. That was just such a cool moment. And I mean, it just, it shows that even if you're not, if you're a former Dragon, like I am now, you're always a Dragon.
What did you do for your box talk?
Yeah, I kind of just talked about, uh, um, the different pillars of the program. I talked about, find a way and keep getting better. Those were kind of the two big things that I took throughout my whole career, and then I'm going to take, for the rest of my life, and talked about that and some of the people that, had huge impacts on me, whether it was coaches, players, my teammates, just people that I love that have helped me get to this point. And then, item I put in the box. So a couple summers ago, we were doing summer workout, and I broke a track hurdle. I tripped on it trying to do hurdle hops, and a little chunk of it broke off, and cut my stomach up actually. And
Oh
so
man.
I kept that and wrote on it, put it in the box, just kind of as a, even through failure, you got to just kind of stick with the process and know that in the end, you're going to see that the process paid off in the results. So.
Wow. That's good, man. That's a good story. Football's not done. Tell us about what's to come. Obviously you got invited to participate in the American Bowl. Give us the lowdown on what that's about and what's the next few weeks look like.
Yeah, so beginning of January, I'm going to be going out to New Jersey, train with Test Football, and Tony Rasiopi is the quarterback coach I'm going to be training with, and
Yeah.
I think you know him
Yes.
from training Cam Miller last year, and he's been with Cam for a while. So I kind of met him with him over the summer and throughout the season, just staying updated, talking to him, and then after the season, I was like, yeah, this is where these guys they're invested in me, they believe in me, this is where I want to go. So I'm super excited to get out there and start doing combine pro day training. And then the American Bowl is starting. That's on January 22nd. So I'll go there down to Florida for a week of practice, a couple of days before that, and then participate in that game. Hopefully, just be able to kind of show what I can do in front of some big name guys, and That was something that was really important, throughout the process is just making sure that I can get into one of those bowl games. So I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do that, and I'm excited for it.
Tell me about the phone call of that, of getting invited to this. I'm like, all right, that people think that I can potentially do this at the next level.
Yeah, that was cool because so I was talking to my agent kind of been working on it for a while and trying to figure if I was going to get an invite or not. And um, it was, I think, on Saturday that he called me that night, and I was just texting him throughout the day. I was like, "Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him yet," because he was expecting to hear some from them, pretty soon. And then he called me. He's like, "Yeah, I got you the American Bowl invite," and kind of just felt relieved about that. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna, set in stone. I'm gonna be at one of these games," and kind of just took a load off my shoulders, I guess. And then it kind of cleared up or like made my schedule clear for where
Yeah.
I'm going to be at for the next month too, which was like for a while before that I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be in New Jersey right away or if I'm going to be at a different bowl game, and now I know for sure, which is good.
We've had Tony on a couple times. Obviously, his work with Cam and other quarterbacks is well renowned. What are you looking forward to the most about what he can do to get your name? Your name is out there here, probably in this part of the world, for everybody else to figure out that, hey, this is a guy Jack Strand better look at here for potentially the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got some stuff I got to clean up with my mechanics, with my throwing motion, and then I think the biggest thing for me is going to be working under center stuff because in the last 4 years I've taken zero under center snaps, and they do that a lot in the NFL, taking dropbacks, play
Yep.
action, everything. So it's not gonna be natural for me at first, but I think we're gonna drill it enough, and I know I've already talked to Tony about doing that, and I've been working it, in Moorhead and then here at home in Wisconsin, and once I get up there, I know I'm gonna be doing it a lot more. And then just going through watching film and practicing the interview process and everything with him, kind of seeing how it works at the NFL level. But I know he's gonna help get me ready and gonna be a good time.
All right, a couple minutes left here with Jack. We appreciate that. We have Lockway on the show every Tuesday throughout the season. Can you now? You're a former player, so now you can spill the beans on this. Give us a good behind the scenes story that you can share about what kind of coach, what kind of guy he is. We know, but
Oh boy.
give us a good one that you can share on the air.
Um, well, I got a few from I don't know, like no specific stories really stand out. So one of my favorite things that he does, so he'll in his office, so that's where we meet for our quarterback meetings. And
Okay.
my freshman year, he was always in there because he was coaching quarterbacks. Now it's Coach Check that runs the meetings, but he'll still pop in and grab something. And so must be after some basketball games or volleyball games or something, he'll have this huge black garbage bag of popcorn in there, and that'll just be his meal for the day, and it'll just be sitting on a chair in there, and he'll eat that, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He'll just be snacking on the popcorn all day, and then sometimes he'll have some carrots or something, and we'll have to ask him like what he made. He's like, yeah, we had the kids frying up, some sort of soup or something last night. And another thing that he does is with his spoons, he'll just lick them to clean them, and then he'll put them back in his drawer to use instead of actually washing them off. So
That's fantastic.
He might be upset about me telling you about this, but.
Hey,
Well, something's
it's
funny.
Christmas. You can get over. Do you know his anti-Halloween status? That he
Oh
does
yeah,
not like
he hates
Halloween?
it. No, hates Halloween, hates birthdays. He a couple summers ago, my brother was at the NDSU camp, and I think Lockway was there too. And my brother Zeke must have told him that it was my birthday. Lockway texted me, and he's like, "Is it your birthday?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Congratulations! Tell your mom thank you." And he's like, "Why are you celebrating your birthday when it was your mom that did all the work?"
Oh my
So
God.
that's kind of his stance on that.
See,
But I think it makes sense.
I get that.
Especially when
The Halloween one, I don't understand. That one, he's lost me on. That I don't
yeah.
get. He doesn't
The
keep
birthday one, I think when you got that many kids, kind of makes sense, or else
True, correct.
you're gonna be spending a lot of money on presents.
Correct. Before we go, if you remember from when you were a kid, the one Christmas you wanted badly? Was there one? Hey, you asked Santa for, like, I want this bad. Is there, what comes to mind?
Um, I don't know but Christmas wasn't ever like for us. It was kind of more, about the actual Christmas, about Jesus and the whole story of Christmas. So we never really made a huge deal out of Christmas presents. But I guess I could kind of switch it to my birthday present one year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that because I kind of got a good story about that. So when I was pretty young, I was hoping to get a Tom Brady jersey for my birthday, and opened all my presents like the morning of it and didn't get one. So I was pretty disappointed. Like I was sad all day. I was like I was gonna wear this to my birthday party and everything because I thought I was getting it.
Yeah.
And then we go to this restaurant in my hometown for my birthday dinner or whatever, and my Tom Brady jersey was hanging up in there. So my parents surprised me with it in there, which I was real happy about that. That
That's
was
pretty
that was an
cool, man.
awesome memory, it was an awesome present. So
That's awesome, bud. Thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations on a fantastic career. Have a great holiday, and we'll be talking to you next month and you get ready for the American Bowl, okay?
all right, thank you. I appreciate
Good
it.
to see you, man. There he goes, Jack Strand, joining us now, former MSUM quarterback, the all-time leader, yards, touchdowns, you name it. He's done it. He'll be participating. That comes up January the 22nd in Lakeland, Florida is when the American Bowl is. All right, we're overdue here. We'll get caught up. We'll wrap up our first hour. Logan Kopp coming up in hour 2 on this Christmas Eve, and our top 5 sports stories of 2025 is Around the Bend. Back after this.